Okay, so hello, uranium friends. Quick look at our ETFs, URA, URNM, and URNJ. So, this is the daily chart. It's just to get the look of what I'm looking at as far as these trading ranges are concerned. So, here on URA, we have, you can see visually without even looking at price levels that we have this range, and the top of this range is you know, 24.20, 24.50, 24.30, for all intents and purposes, we'll zoom in a little bit. I'll give you we'll get a better level. So let's just say it's 24.25, okay? So 24.25, and the bottom of this range is about 1850-ish, okay? So, and we're not trying to be precise with the actual price labels yet. I just want you to see these structures. This is what I'm looking at. So, I'm looking for URA to make its way out of this trading range. If it's not, then I'm assuming that it's going to remain in this trading range. Maybe it's going to tighten up a little bit more. Maybe it just needs to do that. So, my eyes at the moment are on 24, the 24 level to see how it reacts there. And it's the same kind of deal with URNM. Now, URNM is going to follow. I mean, these guys kind of work pretty much together and in concert. Their percentage moves are similar. URNM can be a little bit more expansive, like it was on this particular structure, as opposed to URA, which never got to break over. URNM did, so it did have a little bit of an expansion there. But still, and that's what causes it to have this different look. So if you were to draw a trend line, and I'm not the biggest trend line guy, but if you were to draw a trend line here, there's some pretty clear action on that as far as that's concerned. Okay, but it's not the be all end all for me. So I'm really just let's just look at this structure and see what it is, and try to identify our ranges. So for URA, it's about 24.25, 1850 to 24.25. URNM, let's just say 29. Well, yeah, 28.50 would be a better call on that, and then I'm going to say about 38.50. So 28.50 to 38.50 there. So let's just zoom in a little bit on URA, because there's something that I did notice and that I want to keep a closer eye on in the more recent action that we've had in the name. So, here's our run. Okay, so right, basically right from the bottom of the range, and it's starting to make its way back into this top of this range. So, you had a great volume expansive run here. Obviously there were inflows, there were ETF units created. You had a nice little period of consolidation here, and now we're starting to see some continuation. So it's a very similar looking structure as this is here. And coincidentally or not coincidentally, basically right off the same exact levels, which is the 19 number, right, makes its way up and it makes its bull flag here. So it has its consolidation right at this level here, which is, 21 to 2250, 2220. Where's this consolidation? Same deal, right? 21 to 2250. Not as much. All right. This is a little bit more expansive. So, but the range, these consolidation ranges are basically very close. So we have a similar look here as we do here. So now I'm waiting to see, well, do we get some deeper consolidation this time around, or do we get this continuation into this essentially this next leg, right? So, and you could even take something like this fractal pull, right? And you could probably overlay it in a similar fashion. And we're going to see even that fractal pull is going to line us up into this heavy resistance zone with multiple levels. So I'm watching to see how this all plays out here. Structurally, these moves look very similar, and that's why I could feel a little bit more comfortable pulling a fractal to see what the fractal looks like. The fractal makes me look even a little bit more comfortable because now it's just, again, showing up at this resistance zone. So big area for us for 24 to 24.50. That's our area we've got to work our way through, because then we can say, yeah, maybe we're going to leg up into this next resistance. And And it just so happens, we have these volume shelves here that start to wane once we get over it too. So there'll be less wood to chop. Right now we've got wood to chop. Right now we have buyers from this whole range that may just be really happy to get out break even, you know? So we have to see how that dynamic plays out. But that's what URA is doing right now. URNM is when we zoom in is going to have a very similar look, I would assume, and it pretty much does. The difference being again that we've had a little bit more of an expansion here that could skew the resistance levels and maybe create a little bit more of a chop scenario up here once we breach the true trading level. Just as you can have undercuts on your true trading levels, you can have some overcuts too. So, the true trading range, in my opinion, is 3880 and yeah, right around in this area. So 2950 could be a pretty good level. 2960. Yeah, so this 2950 to 2975 area with some undercuts. And we have this 3850 area with the overcut. So, these undercuts, they help to act as support, but they're going to also help to act as resistance up here. So it's going to be a little choppy, but that is the slight difference between URA and URNM. So, for me, all eyes are on URA. It's where the institutional money is going to flow first. It has some more clear levels to define where we can say, hey, we've gotten a structural change. So it helps in that regard with URA. Now, URNJ is a little bit of a different story. In my opinion, it's still going through price discovery. But what do we have here? Well, we had a range here, and there's not a lot of clarity on this range. Let's see if we just tighten it up and maybe give it some more clarity. But there's not a lot of clarity on this range here, but it does give you a basic feel for about a 14 to $16 range. But regardless of that, it got out of it. Now it's just running into some issues with some previous consolidation. But truth be told, not enough price action and data to truly determine anything yet. So I am kind of working off of this previous range and I am working off of this 12 EMA here. So, for me, I just need to see more price action on it. But bottom line is that NJ is going to follow URNM and it's going to follow URA. So these are the two, in my opinion, that obviously are going to be the bellwethers for the ETF space. We do have those issues with Kazatomprom, right? So there's a lot of geopolitical risk. We got boards of everybody on the board of directors is leaving. There's always the trade routes that are an issue, and Russia and China. So there's a lot of geopolitical risk. And can they weigh? Kazatomprom is the heaviest weighting in both of these ETFs. So are they going to weigh the performance down a little bit? Yeah, it's possible. It's when you're one of the top five holdings in any ETF and you're underperforming to a large extent, it's into some of the other holdings, stronger top holdings are going to outperform uh, the ETF in general. So it's something to be aware of how Kazatomprom plays out with these ETFs. But we'll look at some other names, individual names, in the next video. So over and out.